The town of Shadeville was like any other small, forgotten place that dotted the American landscape. Nestled between thick woods and shadowed mountains, it had its share of secrets, but none as unsettling as the silence that gripped the entire town. A year ago, a peculiar event occurred. It started with a distant rumble, echoing through the mountains like a growling beast. The earth quivered and the skies darkened as if nature itself had taken a collective breath. Then, an otherworldly silence fell over Shadeville. No birds chirped, no dogs barked, and the rustle of leaves in the wind seemed to vanish. The residents, initially dismissing it as a bizarre natural occurrence, soon realized the magnitude of the silence. The entire town became trapped in a muted nightmare. Among the townsfolk was David Harris, an investigative journalist. Drawn by the eerie reports of Shadeville, he arrived with his notepad and a healthy dose of skepticism. As he entered the town limits, the oppressive quiet wrapped around him like a suffocating shroud. His first stop was the local diner, once bustling with laughter and the clatter of cutlery. Now, the air hung heavy with a stifling silence that made the diner feel like a mausoleum. The few residents who dared to venture outside moved with a hesitant shuffle, their eyes haunted by the unnatural quiet. In search of answers, David met with the town's mayor, an elderly man named Elias Dawson. Elias, normally a charismatic figure, sat in his office, staring out the window with vacant eyes. When David tried to speak, his words came out in a barely audible whisper, swallowed by the pervasive silence. The mayor's trembling hand handed David an old journal, its pages filled with hastily scrawled notes about the day the silence descended upon Shadeville. It spoke of an ancient burial ground hidden deep in the mountains, a place the locals call the Whispering Graveyard. Legend had it that the graveyard held the key to the town's silence, a curse unleashed by meddling with the spirits of the departed. Undeterred, David set out towards the mountains, guided by the mayor's cryptic directions. The journey was marked by an unsettling quiet, broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath his feet. As he delved deeper into the woods, the trees seemed to close in, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. After hours of navigating the dense forest, David stumbled upon the Whispering Graveyard. The air in the clearing felt charged with an otherworldly energy. Ancient tombstones, weathered by time, stood as silent sentinels, and a low fog clung to the ground like ghostly tendrils. In the center of the graveyard, David discovered an ornate crypt, its door ajar. As he entered, a whispering wind stirred through the tomb, carrying with it the voices of the long-departed. The walls were adorned with faded paintings depicting scenes of a bygone era. In the dim light, David uncovered an ancient ritual, a dark incantation that spoke of a pact made with the spirits to protect the town. However, something had gone awry, and the ritual had backfired, trapping Shadeville in a silence that mirrored the void between life and death. As he deciphered the incantation, the whispers grew louder, morphing into anguished cries. Shadows danced on the walls, taking form as specters trapped between worlds. David realized that the only way to break the curse was to complete the ritual and appease the restless spirits. With trepidation, David chanted the incantation, his voice breaking the unnatural silence that had held Shadeville captive. As he spoke the final words, the tomb trembled, and the spirits within the graveyard wailed in both agony and relief. The Whispering Graveyard seemed to exhale, releasing the town from its spectral grasp. A deafening cacophony of sound erupted, birdsong, the rustle of leaves, and distant murmurs of the townsfolk, now free from the oppressive quiet. Returning to Shadeville, David witnessed the town awakening from its silent nightmare. Residents stared at each other, their voices uncertain as they rediscovered the art of speech. Elias Dawson, the mayor, stood in the town square, tears streaming down his face as he heard the laughter of children for the first time in a year. Yet, as the town celebrated its newfound liberation, David couldn't shake the feeling that something lingered in the shadows. The Whispering Graveyard, though silent once more, held secrets that transcended the pages of the old journal. As night fell, David wandered the quiet streets, haunted by the echoes of the whispers that lingered in the wind. The curse had been lifted, but the price paid in silence left an indelible mark on Shadeville. For in the heart of the Whispering Graveyard, a lingering presence watched, waiting for the next soul to uncover the ancient ritual and awaken the dormant spirits that whispered in the silence of the night.